We're just trying to make awareness of a lot of women being missing these days, you know.
I understand.
I know you've been seeing that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
You got a wife, you got kids, and you got people out here just snatching them up.
Well, you guys are doing a wonderful job, man. I appreciate all y'all's help.
Shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ, bless Captain Palu with this United in Christ. What we out here doing today, we out here in the neighborhoods trying to find our people, all right? What you see above us is the missing people flyer. In our neighborhoods, in Oklahoma by itself, is 121 reported cases of people that's being taken for sex trafficking. So there's no news about it on the internet. There's no way to find out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take matters in our own hands to make sure that we're going into the neighborhoods and searching for our people, all right? So that's what we're doing. We out here campaigning for the missing people campaign to make sure that we put in our brick in our community so we can bring our people home, all right? Most of the people that's being taken is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in our community. So we must do something about it. And I challenge you to do something about it as well, all right? Shalom, Most High in Christ bless.
Israel United in Christ. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a non-violent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1. Hey, shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless, Most High in Christ bless. Welcome to another edition of Precept Upon Precept. I am your host, Officer Matthew, to my left.
Officer Mikha'el.
To my right.
Officer Micah.
And all praise to the Most High. We don't have the main man, Captain Shim, today. You know, hey, our captains, they be busy. They put in work. They put a lot of effort, a lot of bricks in. So y'all keep our captains in your prayers.
Yes, sir.
Brothers be putting in bricks. All right, so our show today, we're continuing on escaping from oppression. Y'all gonna like this one today, especially y'all ignorant ones who say that Northern Kingdom ain't Israel. Yeah. The ones that don't like Mexicans because y'all was beat up by them and they took a girlfriend back in the day. Yeah. Y'all gonna like this show.
Yep.
Y'all gonna like this one here. But before we get to that, let's get to Officer Michael with the Watchmen report.
Hey, shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Good to be back. All praise to the Most High. Let's get right into it. Smile for this. I ain't gonna say that. Florida man hurls racist slurs at Asian woman who asked him to wear a mask. I guess it's different when the shoe's on the other foot. You know, they always trying to throw us out there. Hurry up and buy. Yeah, he said, yeah, I got something for you, Moab. Next article, please. Miami Spring Breakers arrested, accused of drugging, raping woman who later died. It was two brothers. I guess they decided to grab up Becky. Our people, boy, pray our people get this truth. Next article, please. Hey, massive ship caught up in the Suez Canal, blocked by traffic jam after massive container ship runs aground. So pretty much the water wasn't deep enough, and they put this boat in there with all them containers on it, and it managed to get stuck. More to follow on that. Smoking Joe Biden seeks assault weapons ban and background checks. I guess it didn't work when DJ Trump was doing it, so I guess Biden's going to give it a shot at it. It's the same playbook. Trump tried to say we need stricter laws. But yeah, Biden's going. I guess he's gonna make a change. All right, let's see. Next article, please. I honestly just don't want to get shot. Law student detained by Arkansas state trooper for over an hour during traffic stop, mocked for calling his father. The brother was standing out there with his U-Haul in handcuffs crying because he didn't want to get shot. Next article, please. This happened. Pray our people get this truth. Father and son shootout captured on family security camera. Could you play that real quick? We got time. Play a little bit. Play a little bit of it. The father, before you play it, the father pretty much asked the son.
New at 6 tonight, a Coweta County father tells deputies he confronted his son about having a gun in his pocket. And he says rather than turn it over, his son opened fire on him.
It was all caught on the family's home security camera, as you saw there. Fox 5's Doug Evans has more on the
You can stop it right there. Just go back. Y'all go back and check that out. Pretty much the father asked his son about a weapon. You know, and as his son should be, hey, Dad, you know, here's the gun. I shouldn't have it anyway. He pulls it out and starts shooting at his own dad. Your own seed is shooting at you. And that concludes the Watchmen report.
All right, all praise to the Most High. Hey, man, them reports, man, them reports, bruh, that's crazy. A father-son shootout.
Shootout.
A father-son shootout. Bruh. This was wrong with our people. And then when us as men, we try to, not try, but we start to take our rightful place as men in the community, and we tell y'all stop doing the wrong that you're doing, you get mad at us. Y'all get frustrated at us for us bringing out the Bible, a book you're supposed to read and supposed to believe in. Y'all get mad at us for actually applying what's written and taking the lead as men in the community. Telling y'all sons stop putting the guns down. Put the drugs down. Take care of the community. Be leaders. We do that and people get upset. But yet they look shocked as hell when they got a father-son shootout. A father-son shootout. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It is, man.
But look, we gotta talk about different things, and this actually is some fairly new information. Some fairly new information.
Yeah.
A lot of people have not talked about this because a lot of people don't know about it. Because a lot of our people, we're comfortable knowing, you know, about the people that we're told about. And not to take away from Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth and, you know, all of the people that played a role in, you know, helping our people to escape, right? But how come we're only told about one way that we escape? We all know we went to the north. We all know that. We all know we went from the south to the north by almost any means necessary. Whether we carjacked a naval ship, whether we shipped ourselves inside of a box, whether we impersonated white people in order to get past them, in order to get to where we came from, we did some things to get up out of our oppression. But one thing that we did not know of is there was an underground railroad to Mexico.
I wonder why Mexico. I
I
wonder why.
Can we get Daniel 9 and 12 real quick? Let's see why. Matter of fact, Jeremiah 50:33. Let's see why our people decided to go into Mexico. And I wish I had more time, because I would have did a whole lot more work with the Black Indians. There's a book called Black Indians, in which it tells history of Native Americans helping the so-called Negroes to escape off of the plantations.
Huh.
So the Native Americans were helping to help our people escape.
But wait.
Yes, to Mexico. Hey, make sure the volume is up. They got too many people on here talking about the volume low. turn your television up or turn your phone up or whatever you got to do because you don't want to miss none of this.
Hey, Israel, y'all got to use some of that stimmy. Throw away that big Zenith TV. You know they probably still got the Zenith
With
TV
the big back?
the big back on it. Come on, use some of that stimulus money to go get you a better TV. You don't have to carry that Sprint phone with the big antenna no more. Upgrade your flip phone. Come on, Israel.
Give me Jeremiah 50:33.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 33. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
The children of Israel, meaning the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes, and Judah were oppressed. How?
Oppressed together.
Together. We was oppressed together. Hey, give me that article by the History Channel. We're going to come to that one. But I want the one from thehistory.com.
So, our people running into Mexico. Wonder why Mexico? Maybe it's because they heard about Yanga, Mexico.
Oh, Gaspar Yanga. Go
Yeah.
look back on our Precept Upon Precept radio show. We did a show on Gaspar Yanga.
Who set up a whole free state in Mexico.
Yep. And was whooping Esau behind daily. Daily, this man whooped they behind. Now, we're gonna see about this him. We're gonna see about this him. Read that.
The little known underground railroad that ran south to Mexico.
When was this article updated?
Updated January 29th of 2021.
So that was just like a month ago. Month and a half, something like that. Read.
Unlike the northern free states, Mexico didn't agree to return people who had fled slavery.
Whoa. Shots taken at Judah. It said, unlike the northern free states, Mexico didn't agree to return people who had fled slavery because up north, if them folks caught you, they was bringing you back to the South. 12 Years a Slave wasn't just no movie.
Oh, really now? So you can go up north to these so-called free states and get your behind sent back to slavery.
Yes, you could. Mexico, on the other hand, you ain't about to cross that river to come get no Negroes. That ain't about to happen. You ain't about to play them games, not with south of the border.
And if you did cross that river to come get them Negroes, you had some Issacharites to deal with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they forget about the Alamo, huh?
Which goes to show you, if Mexico doesn't house Israelites, I wonder why Mexicans or the Aztecs were even there to help us in the first place when they were colonized by the same people. It's just that our colonizers spoke English. Their colonizers spoke Spanish.
Yep.
That's all it was. It's the only difference. Read on.
The Underground Railroad ran south as well as north.
Uh-huh.
For enslaved people in Texas, refuge in Canada must have seemed impossible far away. Fortunately, slavery was also illegal in Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, a lot of these websites give various numbers of how many people actually fled into Mexico.
So that means they hiding information.
Yes. Yes. Because this information is just now coming out and research is just now happening, because contrary to popular belief, Mexico was in the United States first. It went all the way up to Canada. They moved the border. Esau moved the border, not the other way around. They're not jumping the border to come over here. This already their land. For y'all who always talk about the indigenous peoples, they are the indigenous peoples of this land.
Yes, they are.
Read on.
Researchers estimate 5,000 to 10,000 people escaped from bondage into Mexico.
How many?
5,000 to 10,000 people escaped from bondage into Mexico.
Now, when we was in Egypt, can we get Exodus chapter 1? I want to show y'all something about how Israel do. I'll show y'all something.
Bring it out.
Exodus chapter 1, and let me get verse 7.
Book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 7. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied.
Matter of fact, go to verse 5.
Verse 5. And all the souls that came out of and all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already.
So there were 70 souls. 70. What is that? There were 70 of the seed of Jacob that came into Egypt when Joseph was there. By the time they left out of Egypt, from 70 people, a couple hundred years and passed, there was well over 500,000.
Well over.
Well over 500,000. Matter of fact, can you find that for me? When they came out, the scripture gives you the number. The scripture gives you the number. Right when we was coming out, right when we was escaping. Right when we was escaping. But when 5,000 to 10,000 people, can you read that again, officer? Researchers estimate.
Researchers estimate 5,000 to 10,000 people escaped from bondage into Mexico.
So when you have 5,000 to 10,000 of us, now 70 of us got over 500,000. Imagine how many of us multiplied from 5,000 to 10,000 of us. Let's take the median number. Let's take the middle number. Let's say 7,000, 7,500. How many do you think is still there? How many do you think got married while they was there, had children, and those children had children, as fruitful as we are?
Yep.
How often do you think that we was reproducing? So that goes to show you how many of those people that's in Mexico are our people. A lot. Besides the one that was already there, you also had some that escaped to go live there. Go ahead, read that, what you got.
So the book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 37. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot that were men, besides children.
So just the men, there were 600,000 men alone. Men. We went from 70 to 600,000. What you think we went from 5,000 or 10,000? Man, we in the millions out there. We in the millions out there. Read on.
Says Maria Hammock, who is writing her dissertation about this topic at the University of Texas at Austin. But she thinks the actual number could be even higher.
Exactly. Go ahead.
These were clandestine routes, and if you
got it.
I know they keep moving. If you got caught, you would be killed and lynched.
So just like going up north, the same rules applied. If you got caught, imagine that. You trying to get free from somebody beating on you, forcing you to labor, dealing with your wife and without your consent. Well, I don't know nobody consent to have somebody sleep with their wife.
No.
But you got all of these things going on, and guess what? Now you want to get free. Now you have found, oh, snap, there's an area that I can go to that they will help me stay free. And Esau will find you and either kill you or lynch you, which is basically the same thing. When you get lynched, you get hung. When you get killed, they probably chop you up in the middle of pieces and eat you. Based on the book, The Delectable Negro. Because they did eat us.
Yes, Esau's out here eating Negroes.
They did eat us. Read.
So most people didn't leave a lot of records.
So, would you?
Hell no.
Would you leave a note?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to run
That's
to
fine. We'll be over here.
Mexico over here.
hang
Wine is about to take me
Yeah.
across the river into the border of
Then I'm
Mexico.
gonna rendezvous with
I'm not about
Mikha'el
to
over
write
there.
that down. I'm not going to do that. But guess who did take records of it? The slave plantation owners. They had to, because they had insurance on every slave. Every slave
Yep.
was a commodity. It was a property. So you're not going to say, those of y'all who have homes, y'all know, you got valuable personal property insurance. Everything is itemized on your personal property. If you lose something, you report that loss to your insurance company.
Yep.
And they replace
That's right.
that exact item. What you think they did to the slaves that fled?
They paid the insurance on them.
Exactly. So even if they escaped, they was covered, but they still was minus a worker. Read on.
These were.
There's some evidence.
There's some evidence that Tejanos or Mexicans in Texas acted as conductors on the southern route by helping people get to Mexico.
Now, why would Tejanos
Uh-oh.
or Tejanos or Mexicans in Texas, why would they act as conductors on that southern route? To help us escape. Because they know what it's like. They was fighting Esau before us. Remember, 1492, they came over here to the islands. And then they started to invade Mexico, Central America, and South America. They was fighting. Gaspar Yanga and all them, they was fighting long before us. Matter of fact, Gaspar Yanga died in 1618.
Yep.
How convenient is that? Gaspar Yanga got killed 1618. And the very next year, they started bringing us over here. Because they knew if a leader like that would have helped us, it would have been detrimental for them. And it was supposed to happen because biblical prophecy, you know what I'm saying, we're supposed to serve servitude over here. But it doesn't change the fact that our brothers south of the border, they were helping us. They wasn't helping no Asians. They wasn't helping no Ishmaelites. They wasn't helping them.
No.
They was helping their people.
They
And
were
how,
helping Israelites.
how was it that they was able to communicate? I mean, when we came over here, was we speaking the same language with them? They was colonized by people who speak Spanish.
Uh-huh.
Or was Spanish their second language?
Yeah.
Read on.
It's
In a
I was about to say, is Tajino even a Spanish word?
Tejanos.
Tejanos. Is that even a Spanish word?
Hey,
is
look that up. Look that word up. Tejanos.
Or is that the same word as Taino, which we know isn't a Spanish word? It's a Hebrew word that means. Wait, what's Taino mean again? Does it mean brave Lord, or is that Boricua?
Hey, look, I don't know. I speak English and bad English. That's the only two languages I speak. English and bad English. I speak English. So look at Tejano.
Tejano, a Mexican-American inhabitant of southern Texas.
So the Mexican-American inhabitant of the southern Texas. Go ahead, read the second one.
A style of folk or popular music originated among the Tejanos, with elements from Mexican Spanish vocal traditions, Czechs, and German dance tunes and rhythms traditionally played by small groups featuring accordion and guitar.
Suave, suavemente. I know y'all know that song. I know y'all know it. If you don't know it, y'all better get on it, bruh. Yeah, they had music. Tejanos was Mexican Americans that was from Texas. That's why these people knew who they were and they knew who we were. That's why they was able to help us out. Because guess what? We looked alike. We spoke the same language. They already knew that they had people that was coming on this side. Why? Because before they were stripped of their history, they already knew it. Why do you think, who was that? Glenn Beck? Glenn Beck? He talked about the Hebrew writings of the Ten Commandments in South America. How would they get there? How would they build pyramids with the same dimensions as the pyramids in Egypt? The same dimensions, same square footage and all that. They just looked a bit different. How was they able to build those things? Because they was the same people that built the pyramids in Egypt. Read on in that article.
In addition, Hamakis also identified a black woman and 2 white men who helped enslaved workers escape and tried to find a home for them in Mexico.
So let's be clear. There were, and today there still are. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can see all of the Edomites on YouTube. Black people are the real Jews, and they are the children of God, and all that stuff. There are sympathizers in the world. Don't make them any less the devil. But there are sympathizers in the world that the Lord will use. Just like he used Cyrus, just like he used Nebuchadnezzar, just like he used Alexander, just like he used the Romans, just like he used Pharaoh. He's going to use certain people to help his people accomplish certain things. Read on.
Mexico abolished slavery in 1829 when Texas was still part of the country.
So in 1829,
Yeah, here we go.
slavery was abolished. Slavery was abolished in 1865 over here.
Yep.
So in 1829, they was fresh out of slavery. Not counting all of the revolts that happened before 1829 of them trying to free themselves. Not counting all of that stuff. But guess what? They fought. And because they were fresh out of slavery, fresh out of oppression, they was helping their brother, much like us. 1865 to 1900, we did many a good things for our people. We had brothers that started newspapers. They couldn't even read or write 5-6 years prior.
Start newspapers.
They had newspapers. They had editorials. They had all kind of stuff that was going on. All kind of moves that they was making fresh out of slavery.
Brothers start opening schools.
Right.
Fresh out of slavery.
And they think that Issachar is not Issachar. They think that the Mexicans is not Issachar because they say, oh, well, they come over here and they get their own businesses. They look after one another because they fresh out of oppression. Esau came down hard on them after they abolished slavery in Mexico. Why do you think they moved the border? It said in 1829 it was abolished when Texas was still part of the country. Don't you remember the Alamo? They took that land. They took it and made it a state. Just like they took New Mexico, Arizona, California, and all the rest. They had to deal with a lot more stuff than we did. So when they come out of those conditions, currently today, they make it to the so-called land of the free. They know how to look after one another because of what they just came out of. That's why the Bible said, give me that in Genesis 49 about Judah. You can't get past it, bro. You can't get past it. This is why Judah not on it like they used to be on it. Read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
At first, our hand is at the neck of our enemies. Why? Because we was fighting politically. We was fighting educationally. We was fighting physically. We was trying to free everybody that was trying to get free. We was looking out for the betterment of our nation as a whole. Read.
Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp.
Judah is a lion's whelp, meaning a young lion. If y'all watch Discovery Channel, y'all watch those animal nature shows, and you see young lions, you see the papa lion or the mama lion just saying there like that. Then the baby lion, here come the baby lion. What he doing? Biting all on the mama or the daddy ear, scratching all on them, pouncing. That's because that's what young lions do. Like my son, this dude, he'll take a toy and sit it down and then smack it across the room. That's what little boys do. That's what young lions do. They just attack any and everything. But read on.
From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He crouched as a lion.
He crouched down as a lion, meaning he was ready. Judah was ready. Judah came out of oppression and said, you know what? I'm about to get these people back. Look at all of the people that we already covered from the first 2 episodes. Read.
And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
But in that, we became an old lion. An old lion tired. An old lion be like, look, I ain't got time to do all that stuff. Look, if this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do. And that's how Judah is now. Well, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, that's how it is. That come out of Judah mouth. I mean, that's what they say. I mean, that's what it is. That's how we gotta be. I mean, that's what the rules is set. I mean, that's what they say. But that wasn't our thought process when we was running to Mexico. That was not our thought process. We was running to Mexico because we said, this ain't supposed to be like this. If y'all gonna help me, let's get it in together. You had something else?
Yeah, I actually was looking up Taino, and I found it in the names analysis report, and Taino actually means shepherd.
Mm. And that's what they did. They shepherded us to the promised land of Mexico.
Yep.
Hey, go to the next article that Officer Mikha'el posted, that NPR article. Matter of fact, hold up. Go back to that article. The who's just at? Yeah. Hey, officer. Read that Mexico abolishing in that next paragraph.
I was trying to get there. Right
Yeah.
Mexico abolished slavery in 1829 when Texas was still part of the country, in part prompting white slave-holding immigrants to fight for independence in the Texas Revolution. Once they formed the Republic of Texas in 1836, they made slavery legal again.
White folk came and took that thing back. They was fighting for they niggas. They was fighting for them. They said, we not about to let y'all. Why you think when they tell you, go back to Africa, you can't go? They not about to let you just go. Who gonna take trash out? Who gonna clean their toilets? Who gonna cut their grass? Who gonna flip their burgers? Who gonna dip their fries? Who gonna give them fries with that? I know they ain't gonna do it. They need a working class. Every time they say, won't you go back to Africa? They don't mean that. Because if we did go back, you would be out of luck. Because your working force will be gone. And you're not trying to do none of the stuff that we got to do.
Can we get a scripture? Jeremiah 22:13. It hit on right what Officer Matthew bring it out. And can somebody please tell black people, this is slavery. This is what slavery is, all right?
And it's still slavery even if you're making $40 million.
Yes, this is
Because
slavery.
they're not going to send you back to Africa because they want you to entertain them with your sports, too.
Jeremiah chapter 22, verse 13. Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that useth his neighbor's service without wages.
Because if they were going to pay us, they wouldn't have fought hard like look, no, they cannot go free. We're going to get it. Okay, we got to go over here, reestablish this thing, and start a war because we want this Negro free labor. They don't want to pay it. They do not want to pay us. They didn't want to pay us then. They damn sure don't want to pay us now.
Yep.
When somebody's working for you for free and you don't have to pay nothing for that labor, that's good living. They knew that was good living.
Yep.
It's hot down in Mexico, down in Texas. It's dry heat.
Oh, yeah.
And our raised that's hot. Esau don't fare well out there. They start looking like little red lobsters out there. That heat go to cooking on their neck. Oh, I got rednecks down there. It gets hot in Texas.
They got one name in this paragraph that stands out to me. That's because I know they got like 700 schools in Texas named after this devil.
Yeah. We about to get to that.
They made slavery legal again, and it continued to be legal when Texas joined the U.S. as a state in 1845.
It was still legal. They said it was illegal in 1829. They said, no, buddy, we getting that back. Let me get these Negroes back. Read on.
Enslaved people in Texas were aware that there was a country to the south where they could find different levels of freedom. Through indentured debt servitude existed in Mexico. It was not the same as chattel slavery.
You want to know why? Because
that's what the
scripturally. Go ahead, go get that. Go get that. We're gonna give them the proper understanding. You get the one in the New Testament, the one that everybody use. The people, when people say, I don't believe in the Bible because the Bible say this. You know what I'm saying? Leviticus 25 should be around the 40s or late 30s or something like that. Yeah, go ahead, get that.
The
Go
book of
ahead, get
Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 35.
that. Uh-huh.
And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee,
Meaning, I'm going to put it in black people terms. If your brother broke, he ain't got no ends. He gone, folk. He gone. He broke. And you got it. Instead of, because you know, black people, they don't want to just give you money. They'll ask you 1,000 questions over $5. What you need it for?
Right.
Well,
What you gonna do?
what
with
you
it?
gonna do with it? Well, would it be better for me to just buy it for you instead of me giving you the money? Well, where my change at? Black people ask a lot of questions over $5, bro.
For real.
So back in the day, when our people was falling into decay or they got broke, what do you think that we did? Read.
then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
So if he gets to be broke, right? Because sometimes it happens. You become broke. You got the money. You make him work for you. Why? Read that part over again.
Yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner.
The stranger was, I'm not from Mexico. I'm from Louisiana.
Mhm.
I'm from Georgia. I'm from Mississippi. I'm from Alabama. And I fled here. I am a stranger in this land of Mexico. What are you supposed to do? Read.
Or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him,
You're not supposed to take usury of him. Go ahead.
or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury.
Like, I'm going to give you $5, but you're going to pay me back $7. That's usury. That's interest. You're not supposed to do that. Ain't no points on the package over here. Go ahead.
Nor lend him thy victuals of increase.
Uh-huh.
I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt,
Read.
to give your land of Canaan, and not to be your God.
Read.
And if thy brother that dwell by thee be waxen poor,
Uh-huh.
and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant.
So if he is sold unto you, because in Proverbs, can you get that real quick? Real quick, hold what you got and get that in Proverbs 22:7. Just to show y'all what it means, okay? Just to show y'all what it means. A lot of people, y'all don't know because we don't talk how they talk back then. But a boss is a master. I'm going to say it again. Maybe they don't know. A boss is a master. You got a boss, that's your master. If you don't believe me, disobey his order. See what happened to you. If he tell you to
Fired.
do something, you do it. Because that's your boss, a.k.a. your master. Read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, and verse 7. The rich ruleth over the poor,
The rich rules over the poor. Read.
and the borrower is servant to the lender.
The borrower is what?
Is servant to the lender.
So, in Leviticus 25, when your brother is waxing poor and falling into decay, and he is sold to you, meaning you give him money, he now owes you. But you don't make him serve as a bondservant. Read.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 39. And if thy brother that dwell by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant.
You don't compel him to serve as a bondservant, meaning a bound servant or chattel slavery. Read.
But as a hired servant.
But as a hired servant or an indentured servant, meaning he gets paid. Read.
And as a sojourner, he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee until the year of Jubilee.
So that's what we did. That's what we did. Which, in context, that is the history behind this verse.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 22. Let me get that.
You got to go through the history. That's why when people don't read the Old Testament, they be lost in the New Testament. Go ahead.
Colossians 3 and 22. Servants,
Servants, not slaves.
servants, obey in all things your masters.
Now, who is your master? The person that you are a servant to, the lender. You had people that, like Paul. Paul was rich. Paul was from no mean city. If Paul was from Georgia, Paul was from Buckhead. If Paul was from Atlanta, he was from Buckhead. He was not from 5 Points. He was from Buckhead. If Paul was in New Orleans, Paul was from Eastover.
Yeah.
English Turn.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
not. He was from English Turn. He wasn't from Callio. He wasn't from the Melpomene. He wasn't from the Magnolia. He wasn't from there. Paul lived in a good neighborhood. Paul was well off. So if Paul was well off and you was broke, guess what? He can give you a job.
Yeah.
Paul is now your boss. Read that over again.
Servants in all things. Servants obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service as man pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fearing God. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as unto the Lord and not unto men.
Why? Because your brother is looking out for you. He's not going to give you nothing for free. Our nation has never been a nation of freeloaders. We have always said, all right, you poor, that's messed up, I'm going to help you out. All right? I'm going to help you out. Read on.
Not unto men, knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ.
So when it's talking about servants obeying your masters, obey the person that hired you. If Micah hires me and I start acting like a nigga in his company, that's gonna make his company look bad. It's gonna make our people look bad. And then on top of that, I gotta get fired. Because now I can't provide for my family because I'm being a nigga.
And that's heavy too. If brothers are rooming together, brothers don't be niggards in another brother's house. You're supposed to be like a servant. You're supposed to be like, if you there and the brother's letting you stay there, probably cutting you your hard times, help out around the house, yard work, whatever the case may be. Don't just be camped out in there like, yeah, you supposed to do this. Don't be a nigga.
Yeah.
Come on, pull your weight.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
The Most High about to say the same thing.
Read chapter 4.
I want to read verse 25.
Okay, go ahead.
3 and 25, it says, but he that doeth wrong shall receive wrong which he hath done. And there is no respect of persons.
Which means if you do wrong, no matter who you are, me and him could be blood related. And if I do him wrong after he done looked out for me, there's a punishment for that.
Right.
There's a punishment for that. But read on.
Chapter 4 and verse 1. Masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal.
So now it says the masters. It ain't talking about the white man. That goes into the psyche of our people when they think that when they see the word master in the Bible, they automatically think the white man. Why is it that they, or you, I'm going to just say you, not for those people who know the truth, I'm talking about those that are watching that don't know the truth. Why is it that you think that the word master means them? But you call yourself a king and you say we was kings. Why the masters couldn't be us?
Because they got Caesar bow on the brain.
Exactly.
Right.
Read on.
Let me read that again. Masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal, knowing that ye also have a master in heaven.
Because you're supposed to look out for your brother because the Lord put you in that position to help out. The Lord could easily take your riches and give them to somebody else.
That's right.
But because he looked out after you, you now look out after your brother. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's what it goes into.
Message.
But we're going to continue on that. But first, we got to deal with Officer Mikha'el and the Watchmen report.
Cornerstone.
Cornerstone News. My bad. Cornerstone News.
My brother excited.
I got to be, man.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ blessed. This is your brother, Officer Mikha'el, and this is the Cornerstone News. So go ahead and put that first one up. So If y'all have not gone and watched Shout Out Tuesday, make sure y'all go back and watch Shout Out Tuesday. Bishop is going in on so-called Pastor Strickland and his foolish, hurtful lust. All right, next slide. Hey, y'all know y'all can watch that on Iuic TV because it's on all platforms now. Whether you got Apple TV, Fire Stick, Roku, and Samsung TV. Next slide. Hey, it's only 16 days left to Passover, y'all. 16 days left until the memorial of us escaping oppression. 16 days left. So next slide. Hey, if y'all thinking about registering for Passover, don't think about it. Just do it. Just do it. Register. Next slide. Hey, this is the last call. Registration ends tomorrow. So if y'all thinking about it, just do it. Get it done. Should have been already done. All right, next slide. Hey, make sure y'all check out TGIF tomorrow. Starting off with Book of Our Fathers with Deacon Yawasop. Then you got Hammer Time. Then we got Fix Your Face Friday with Deacon Abiel. And closing out the show, we got Deacon Asaph, where he will make you famous and answer your wishes. If you want a video made about you, he'll do it. Make sure y'all check that out, though. And that ends the Cornerstone News.
All right, so back to the topic. All right, go to that next article. Yeah. Yeah, the NPR, the one that Mikha'el had. So what we got here, Officer Mikha'el?
We talking about an often ignored part of U.S. history. Runaway slaves to Mexico.
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead, Officer Michael.
A charter to U.S. history often ignored: the flight of runaway slaves to Mexico.
Don't worry about the Edomites.
Yeah, we gotta put
One
put
of them was
Miss
Northern
Ann in
Kingdom,
back.
though.
One of them is Northern Kingdom. They
Miss
just,
Ann up there.
speckled bird.
In a forgotten cemetery on the edge of Texas in the Rio Grande Delta, Olga Welber Vasquez says she's proud of her family legacy, even if she only just learned the full story. Turns out her great-great-grandparents who are buried there were agents in the little-known Underground Railroad that led through South Texas to Mexico during the 1800s.
So her people were agents on the Underground Railroad, meaning they were helping us to get out of there. So yes, they are. It's a car. The Northern Kingdom. Even though they look like Esau. Read.
Thousands of enslaved people fled plantation to make their way to the Rio Grande, which became a river of deliverance.
Much like the Jordan River, huh?
Yep. A river of deliverance. That's a heavy little statement right
So
there.
Yes, it
I
is.
wonder how they knew that. That's 2 Ezra 13 and 40.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they weren't. It wasn't anything that we would have known as we were growing up. It amazes me to learn the underground deal. I had no idea at all, says Weber Vasquez, 70, who recently learned the story of her forebearer, John Ferdinand Weber, from her daughter-in-law, who has researched family history. I'm very proud to be a Weber, she said. The flight of runaway slaves to Mexico is a chapter of history that is often overlooked or ignored. As the U.S. Treasury ponders putting Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill to commemorate her role in the northbound Underground Railroad, new attention is being paid to this southbound route.
Why? Because they don't want us to know. They don't want us to know about the brothers and sisters that we had that was helping us out to escape. They don't want us to know that.
United we stand, divided we fall. They want to keep the northern and the southern kingdom separated. That's why they don't want to talk about this history, because we're going to start to connect the dots and realize if these people were helping us out, we're the same people. And then if we realize we're the same people, we understand that we are the majority and not the minority, and we stop voting for their ass.
And you know what's crazy? You know what's another key component of them keeping us separated? The Jews and Gentiles doctrine.
Yes.
The Jews and Gentiles doctrine keeps us separated because it doesn't place a label on us. It doesn't give us a nationality. So we could just easily say, oh, okay, I can stay over here, you can stay over there, but we're all children of God. And that doesn't help us to mend that wall of partition between northern and southern kingdom or Judah and Israel.
Right. Read on.
Alice Baumgardner, a historian at the University of Southern California, is at the forefront of a burst of recent scholarships. A number of researchers are expanding knowledge of the important role that Mexico played in providing a refuge for enslaved people. Mexico represented liberty.
It says the important role that Mexico played for providing refuge. Y'all got to understand, Mexico was a free state. It was established as a free state by Gaspar Yanga when he defeated Spain and ran them up out of there.
They don't know that. They don't. The matter of fact, they do know that. 'Cause they don't want us to know that.
Yes, Esau knows that, but
And
they
remember-
hide that history.
And remember, the scriptures say that the inward thought of all of them is deep. What would make this Edomite girl go research why slaves escaped into Mexico?
Because they want to make sure that they know what was going on to keep it from happening again.
Exactly. Exactly. They look at the history.
Oh, yeah.
They watch the history. They see everything that go on. And they say, well, how can we do it better this time? What can we take from Egypt that Egypt did and apply it here? Oh, what can we take from Babylon and apply it? What can we take from Greece? What can we take from Rome? What can we take from China? What can we take from these different places that had these Negroes in captivity and apply it all in one place?
Yeah. And you have America when you do all of that, because that's exactly what America did. They took all the best traits from all those captivities and brought them here. That's why all that same idolatry is here. That's why you celebrate Christmas here just like you celebrated Nimrod in Babylon.
Yep.
You simple ones, you.
Baumgartner's groundbreaking new book, South to Freedom, Runaway Slaves to Mexico and the Road to the Civil War, was published late last year. She says Mexico in the 19th century is often regarded as a place defined by poverty and political instability and violence, and is rarely given credit for its role in providing a safe haven for runaway slaves.
Of course. They always want to downplay Mexico and make you think bad about Mexico. Oh, don't drink the water in Mexico, you're going to get sick. No, y'all getting sick because y'all cursed.
But did you know that they got water laws where the U.S. is stealing water from Mexico?
Yeah.
But the water bad.
Right.
Yep.
That's only bad when you drink it.
And what's
don't pay
crazy
for it.
is, go back up to that paragraph. What's crazy is, you see how they say Mexico in the 19th century, meaning in the 1800s, 1900s, all the way up until now, Mexico is regarded as a place defined by poverty, political instability, and violence. It's the same thing that they say today. Oh, don't go over there. Them cartels will get you.
Yep.
Oh, the Mexicans ain't nothing but thugs and rapists. Look at what DJ Trump said a couple years ago about our brothers. Or you're gonna let a bunch of thugs and rapists into the country. Don't you grab women by the vagina?
Yeah, he said
Right.
that's locker room talk.
You know what I'm saying? Like didn't they rape us?
Yeah, that's how they.
What was buck breaking? What was that? You talking about rapists? Y'all are notorious for raping. Y'all, according to the FBI statistics, white folks lead in every known crime category except for murder.
So
That's it. They lead in everything else
So
except for murder. Y'all can check the FBI website on that one. But we the ones that fill the jail cells up. Y'all,
I think
y'all ain't slick.
I think his name is Hernan Cortez.
Yeah.
Hernan
That's
Cortez
a little
went to Mexico looking for the
psychopath.
city of El Dorado. This is the city of gold. So what poverty? What poverty? Yeah,
He gonna look at the
y'all keep
steel.
y'all keep playing dumb believing Esau. And then it said political instability. The political instability was our people rising up and fighting them every time they tried to come in and institute this slavery and take over some stuff that don't belong to them.
You know why?
Democracy.
Because they respond to Judases and traitors and sellouts a little bit differently than us. We'll talk bad about a sellout. Issachar gonna come see about you.
Yes.
So when they put them puppet politicians in, look at Venezuela.
Hey, you know how they get out.
Hey,
It's called
Northern
Charlie.
Venezuela.
Hey, Charlie.
Northern
Here they
Kingdom will
go.
touch you.
Yep, quick.
You put a puppet politician up in there and see what happened. That whole country will uprise on your
Northern
behind.
Kingdom will be at your front door.
They ready to get you.
They will uprise on your behind. And guess what? You ain't gonna do nothing about it. You ain't gonna do nothing about it.
And that violence they talked about was freedom fighting. The Maroons were in Mexico before they were in Jamaica. Why y'all talking about Maroons and Benjamin being Maroons?
Yeah.
Issachar was the first Maroons.
Yeah. They was the ones that was stealing stuff. They was the pirates of the Caribbean.
That's right.
Go ahead, read on.
This history is to me most surprising because it shows us the side of Mexico as a place that actually was contributing to global debates about slavery and freedom.
Baumgartner.
Says a terrible.
But see, this is the thing
It's a
though.
horrible
my
name.
They white folk put statistics. I mean, what they call them? Statistics? No, not statistics. Something like a proverb. You know the proverbs they be putting on people.
Stereotypes.
Stereotypes. Couldn't think of it to save my life. White folks put stereotypes out about them. Oh, they lazy. Oh, they don't do nothing. They just have a bunch of kids, and you know they thieves, and you know they tattoo artists, and they do all of this. They do all of that. They can't contribute to the global conversation on economics. They can't contribute to that. Who says so? Or is it that they're going to expose all of your lies? And they're going to say, well, if y'all talking about equality over here, well, what about equality right here?
Hey, you remember when Trump he was reinforcing that wall, and we had that article where Issachar had found a way already to climb over it.
Oh, yeah.
It took him, half a year to figure out how to put, we got this damn wall up. Yeah. Took Issachar less than 30 minutes to figure out, yep, I'm going right over that thing.
These dudes built pyramids in Mexico. They built pyramids in Mexico.
They got tunnels.
They were
Tunnels.
going over the wall and under the wall.
Under the wall. Tunnels. But they lazy. Oh, okay. You really got to get into the psychology of that. For you to be underground in this heat, digging a tunnel, running wire, lights, and all this stuff, you pretty much manipulating the environment so you can get over here where your people at.
Yep.
You got to think about it.
Yeah, okay.
Issachar knows how to fit 15 people into an El Camino.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's ingenuity.
And that's not in the pickup part.
No,
That's not in the
front.
That's not in the back part with the bed.
front.
That's in the front. That's in the cab. You got 15 people in there. Hey, read that next paragraph though.
From the 1830s until the emancipation, she estimated 3,000 to 5,000 enslaved people fled south and crossed over the
I
free.
thought it was 5,000
Yeah.
to 10,000.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
there you
see?
go.
You
There they
see?
go.
They
That's-
like to
that's
play with the
Esau.
numbers.
That's what they do.
Boy.
They like to play with the numbers.
So add 5 and 3, you get 8.
You know what I'm saying? they like to play with the numbers. We know it was hundreds more thousands than that. If they say 5 to 10,000, let's say it was 100,000. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
had some people. We are the majority. The Bible says we the sand of the sea. Think about it. Other nations weren't oppressed as bad as us. And when we get oppressed, we start to want affection. I'm going to keep it PG. When men are mad and upset, they want to take their frustrations out in another way. When women are mad and upset,
Stress reliever.
they need comfort. When women are mad and upset, they need comfort. So if you are married and both of y'all are hot and tired and bothered, guess what? Somebody going to have some kids. Because oppression, the more, like the scripture saying in Exodus, the more they afflicted us, the more we grew. So
It's biblical.
when it come down to it, we was oppressed so much that it only makes logical sense that we're the majority, because as long as we've been under oppression, we've been multiplying all this time. 13, 14 kid households. Esau ain't been doing that. We've been doing that. We just now starting to have 1 to 2, maybe 3, 4 kid households. Other than that, we was having 6, 7, 8, 9 kids. That was normal.
Yeah, our people today, look back at your grandma, your great-grandma, grandpa, 16, 17 aunties and uncles. Y'all know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What else we got?
Keep reading.
Where I stop? Okay. That is far fewer than the estimated 30,000 to 100,000 enslaved people who crossed the Mason-Dixie line to reach free northern states and Canada.
You want to know why
They went to Canada. We wasn't trying to go to the northern states.
You want to know why they're more willing to say 30,000 to 100,000 fled to go north? Want to know why they're willing to say that? Because it still keeps us in the United States.
Yeah, and it still gives that narrative that there are some good white people that help.
That's it
Yeah.
right there.
But if you say the real numbers of how many of us fled to Mexico, then that opens up a door
Uh-huh.
between us and Issachar to be like, hey, well, we got a history together of helping each other out.
Yeah.
Why don't we help each other out now? They don't want that. They don't
No,
want
they
that.
They don't want it. They don't want that smoke. Read.
But from vantage of an East Texas plantation, liberty was a lot closer in Mexico. Enslaved sailors and stowaways from New Orleans and Galveston, Texas, jumped ship in Mexican ports. Slaves drove wagons of cotton to market in Brownsville, Texas, and then slipped across the muddy river to Matamoros, Mexico. But their main mode of transportation was on horseback, traversing the vast furrowed stretches of South Texas down to the border.
So now all you brothers
And gas.
here in New Orleans camp, y'all see the connection between Northern Kingdom and New Orleans. Why there's so many Issacharites here in New Orleans? Well, y'all need to get,
Y'all better get y'all mind right. Y'all better get y'all mind right.
and y'all better get y'all tongues right too.
But look at what they was doing. Look at what they was doing. See, we got to look at the creativity of them. You know what I'm saying? Read that paragraph again.
Enslaved sailors and stowaways from New Orleans and Galveston, Texas, jumped ship in Mexican ports.
So these dudes was on a
They
boat.
was on the boat.
They was on a boat. They was either the sailors or they was a stowaway, meaning they hid on a boat.
Yep.
They saw Mexico and said, look, I'm jumping. Talking about black people can't swim.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we did. When it come to freedom, or we could learn.
Yep.
Or we could learn. These dudes jumped ship. Watch what else they did.
Slaves drove wagons of cotton to market in Brownville, Texas.
So they was on business. Supposed to be handling business for massa. And they said, oh, snap. That's my chance.
They never
We
gave
not
back.
in New Orleans. We not in Texas. We about to go.
Hey, that wagon of cotton never made it to sale.
Never.
Left it on the
Never.
side
That
of the road.
wagon of cotton was left on the side of the road.
They probably took the horse, left the wagon. Yeah, that's how you do in Texas. They ride the horses, no saddle on them.
For real. And then they had modes of transportation, which was primarily horseback. We are the original Texas Rangers. The original well, no, I ain't gonna say we the Texas Rangers because
We the
Esau
original
was the
cowboys.
Texas Rangers. They was coming after the Cowboys.
We the original cowboys.
We the original Cowboys. Why they call it a cowboy?
Yeah. Break that cow, boy.
And they slipped across the muddy river of Matamoros, Mexico. But their main mode of transportation was on horseback, traversing the vast furrowed stretches of South Texas down to the border.
I perceive you to be a prophet,
Hey.
officer.
Hey, watch this. Read that next one.
Sometimes someone would come along and try to get us to run up north and be free. We used to laugh at that. Tell you.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They couldn't let everybody know that this was going on.
Hey. Keep it with the theme that's been going on in IUIC lately. The South got something to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You laugh at them.
The South got something to say, like, hey, let's go up north. You
We
must
free
not
right
know.
here.
Boy, I'm 5 miles away from freedom, boy. You want me to travel 2,000 miles? I'm 5 miles away from freedom right now. Yeah, where's that? And we show them. Go ahead.
Said former slave Felix Haywood, interviewed in 1937 from the Federal Slave Narrative Project. Haywood was 92 at the time, blind, white-haired, and weather-beaten. He was born into slavery and as a young man tended cattle and sheep for ranchers around San Antonio.
He was a cowboy.
There you go. Sound like Joseph.
Go ahead.
There wasn't no reason to run up north. He continued in the interview. All we had to do was to walk, but walk south and we'd be free as soon as we crossed the Rio Grande.
You see what I'm saying?
No reason to go.
You know what I'm
north.
saying? I ain't got to travel, bro. I'm 5 miles away from freedom, boy.
That way.
All I got to do is walk. Go ahead.
In Mexico, you could be free. They didn't care what color you was, black, white, yellow, or blue.
I hate when our people say that,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it is.
Hundreds of slaves did go to Mexico and go on all right, and got on all right.
And guess what? They still there. Their descendants is still there.
Uh-huh.
Their descendants is still there. They still there. So don't think that our people ain't Issachar, bro. Don't think that they not there.
Just sidebar. Everybody that's asking where's Captain Shem, watch the replay, please.
Captain Shem is doing the work of a captain. That's what he doing. So he told us to hold it down. That's what we doing. Sit back, relax. Listen to Northern Kingdom talk, because that's what we talking about, Northern Kingdom. Read on.
Pathways to get to the Rio Grande. While the northbound Underground Railroad depended on a network of people who sheltered and aided fugitive slaves, the southern route was more informal. I hate when they say that. Fugitive slaves.
Yeah.
Hey, you a fugitive.
Because what are we running? We're running from being a slave,
Yeah.
not a crime that we
Yeah.
committed.
Right.
You ain't
So what
getting
they're
paid.
basically saying is it's a crime for us to want to be free.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Damn devil.
That is heavy.
We didn't have a conductor like Harriet Tubman, and we didn't have a certain station like they did in Philadelphia where they could live and make some money. Some Roseanne Bacha Garza, a borderlands historian at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and one of the few experts of the southern route to freedom.
So they didn't have what the escapees from the north had. Like they had a system set up. They had places to be. They had people that'll put you on. With us, we had to just go to Mexico and hope for the best. But any hope is better than going back to that slave quarter. Any hope is better than that.
That's right.
What we did have down here were pathways that people could follow to get to the Rio Grande. There were, however, abolitionists on the border who could be counted on to help black people escape the southwestern extreme of the slave South.
So there were, what I called them earlier, sympathizers.
Yes.
There were sympathizers that actually helped us.
In the Weber Cemetery lie the remains of John Weber and his wife Sylvia Hector Weber. The cemetery is situated just north of the twisting Rio Grande near the town of Donna, Texas. Weber was a white settler new to Texas who fell in love with Hector, an enslaved woman. They had three children together, and he bought their freedom from his business partner.
Turns out she is an Edomite sympathizer. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Yeah, well, the Lord used her.
Yep.
They homesteaded in the hamlet that now bears his name, Weberville, east of Austin.
Hold on. Let's read that little part right there.
But Texas was still a slave state, and the suffocating racial codes of antebellum Texas eventually drove the family away. They moved to the Rio Grande Valley, where they bought a ranch just downstream from another interracial abolitionist family, Nathaniel Jackson and his African-American wife, Matilda Hicks Jackson.
So, I wanted to read that because they'll say, see, they intermarried, so they not Israel. Judah did it too.
Yeah.
Judah did it too. So
Yeah.
what? We all Edomites now? No, bruh. Don't go there. Don't go there. They
At all.
intermarried just like we always intermarried, just like in Nehemiah we intermarried. In Egypt we intermarried. During the Greek captivity we intermarried. Roman captivity we intermarried. We was doing interracial marriages just like today. We did it back then.
You mean just like in Genesis?
Yeah.
From the beginning?
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. Could never keep what I own. We had to go to somebody else. Hey, go to the other link, the world from PRX. The Underground Railroad took slaves to freedom in Mexico.
It is some heavy history, man. I hope y'all taking notes. This is heavy history coming out.
Yeah, that one right there. That one right there.
This Underground Railroad took slaves to freedom in Mexico.
Read that there.
Donald Trump said during the presidential campaign that he wanted to keep bad hombres out of the country. He told the Mexican president, according to documents obtained by the Associated Press, that he wanted Mexico to stop bad hombres down there from coming across the southern border of the U.S.
That's the same thing that the other article said. Mexico has a reputation of being violent, politically corrupt, and what was it?
It was unstable,
Politically unstable, violent,
and poor.
and poor. Bad hombre. Keep the bad hombres down there. Well, what do you mean? What bad hombres?
They talking about bad hombres. Meanwhile, you stole a whole hemisphere.
Yes. Sold the whole hemisphere. And then talking about make America great again. When was America great?
When they were getting free labor, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Before
Free labor.
1865?
Uh-huh.
Before 1965?
Uh-huh.
When Negroes was, quote unquote, in their place?
Before 1820, 1829.
Yeah, before 1829, before Texas was a state.
Yeah.
When slavery was legal.
Mhm.
That what you mean?
And
That's a bad hombre.
And our people, they didn't see it when Trump came in. They were calling you a nigger to your face. They were disrespecting. They disrespect us anyway, but now they were just out with it.
Yeah.
America was great for them again.
Yes, it was.
But now we got to put you niggers back in your place because we got a red man in office. That's letting them know we got
America was so great for them that they even stormed the Capitol.
they were mad. You see that?
And the black woman that defended herself lost her job.
She got lost her job.
And her hair.
And yep.
Damn.
Y'all better leave them folks alone.
I'm telling you.
This ain't got nothing to do with you.
The government has also started receiving applications for companies across the country to continue construction on a southern border wall.
Ooh. So they got the government that got applications from companies. Them ain't black owned companies. Let's get that out there.
Yeah, they
Go
not.
ahead.
But going north across the border has not always been the objective. More than 100 years ago, for example, Americans were escaping into Mexico.
Those wasn't Americans. Those were black people.
Those were Israelites.
Those were Israelites escaping slavery.
See, they didn't put fugitive slave in this one.
They didn't.
They put Americans.
They didn't.
Okay.
They was escaping slavery, captivity. That's why they went to Mexico. Read.
Slaves in the U.S. famously took the Underground Railroad north into free states and Canada, but a similar path existed to the south into Mexico. Slavery was abolished in Mexico in 1829 by Mexican President Vicente Guerrero, who was a mixed descendant, including African heritage. That's why.
I wonder what side that African heritage was on.
Probably his father.
Yeah, that's why they said it that way.
Yep. That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what
Oh, he's of mixed heritage.
trying to say he a nigga. That's what they
So
say.
so he's a GMO human.
Yeah.
he a GMO
Can't
human.
make this
He's
stuff up.
he got many seeds in him. Go ahead.
Or none. According
That's why on a cloudy day this winter, Roseanne Baca Garza is walking through the tall grass and trying not to step on tombstones that date back to the mid-1800s and the Jackson Ranch Cemetery in San Juan, Texas. She manages the community historical archaeological projects with school programs at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. She says that the Jackson family in South Texas played an instrumental role in smuggling slaves into Mexico.
And that's what we read earlier. Just scroll down right there to that the second Baca Garza.
Baca Garza says through her research, she has reason to believe the Jackson family became known as offering slaves refuge and safe haven on their path to freedom. Baca Garza says much of her research comes from oral histories of descendants of families who originally settled on the border during this time period.
So where did it come from? Where did her research come from?
Her research comes from oral histories.
Oral histories, meaning you had to go talk to people that lived there to know what happened. Because if they wrote it down, Esau would erase it, or Esau would have found out the plot and stopped it. So orally, they're starting to write these things down now, but orally, this was well known. Much like most of our family history. Most of our family history, they say, "Oh yeah, well, your grandpa, he was from Mississippi, but he went up to Chicago, and then, from Chicago, he met your grandmother, and she had family in New Orleans, so they had moved back down to New Orleans to be around her family, so that's how my whole generation is born and raised in New Orleans." But that ain't written down nowhere.
Nope.
That ain't written down nowhere. But you know it because it's an oral history that your family teaches you. Same thing with this. They knew that they could not write these things down. And how would they? They didn't know how to write. Go ahead.
Oral histories of Baca Garza says much of her research comes from oral histories of descendants of families who originally settled on the border during this time period. And through historical documents, she believes because Jackson Ranch was so close to the Rio Grande, they would help smuggle slaves into Mexico. The Jacksons were religious people trying to do the right thing and did not believe in the Confederate cause.
So they were sympathizers. And guess what? They also knew wasn't no Edomites about to jump in the water to come get us. They wasn't about to do that. They was not about to do that. Look at what happened to Egypt when they tried to jump in some water to come to get us.
We ain't doing that.
Didn't work out for them too well, did it? Didn't work out for them too well, did it? So they knew. Trying to go after them, man, look, I'm not about to do that. But we knew if that is the key to freedom, crossing that water right there, I'll take my chances. Read that. They probably fell. Matter of fact, continue reading.
Nathaniel Jackson was the son of a plantation owner in Alabama. He and his family owned.
We read about that in the other the white man that married the black woman. They probably felt.
They probably felt this would be a nice place to come and reestablish themselves far away from the long arm of the law, where they are from in Alabama.
So they ran from Alabama.
They were hard on slaves.
You know what I'm saying?
Alabama.
Hey. They ran from Alabama to come be free. You got to understand that. Read that before that.
Before that, Native American tribes thrived in the region. They lost their land when the Spaniards came and claimed it as their own.
I'll be John
So,
Brown.
so they lost their land when the Spaniards came and claimed it as their own. What did the Spaniards do? They brought guns. They brought disease, like smallpox.
And brought a doctrine called kill the Indian, save the man. That's what they brought. They brought that in. Kill the Indian, save the man. That's what they brought in. That's why. How the hell can a Spaniard come and claim Native American? Now you see it say Native American, right?
Yeah.
So why they don't call them? I'm talking about the Judites that got beat up by Issachar. Why don't they talk about Native Americans the same way that they talk about the so-called Hispanics? Because it's right there. The Spaniards took over the Native Americans' land and claimed it as their own. So why they don't call them Spaniards? Oh, they Spaniards. They Canaanites mixed with Edomites.
No, they try to say they Moabites or some craziness. I don't know.
Crazy. But this goes to show you, just like Spain came over here and they took over half of the island of Hispaniola. They came over here and took over Mexico and Central America. And the Portuguese came and took over some of South America. And then the English came over and took over North America. And the Dutch came over and had their way with some of South America. You got to understand that these things are a part of our history. And they love to take our history away from us. But one thing about it, Northern Kingdom or Issachar was so prepared for it, they said, you know what? We're going to keep this in the family.
Yep.
We're going to tell our kids about this. We're going to tell our kids about this. We're going to let everybody know we was the ones that helped free slaves from the U.S. We was the ones that helped do that. And those be the cool ones that you meet. All of them cool, to be honest with you. Like, except for the ones that follow after the racism that they were taught, like the black devil and the white angel.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get that little card that I think is Archangel Michael stomping on the devil, and the devil is black with an afro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that grew up in the hood right next to you.
Yeah, them cats. I remember growing up down in the country with them. We go out fish. They come in. They get their Coronas. They done got off. They dig that hole, put the killing in the bottom, cook the goat in the ground, and they sent out there and sing about Maria.
Yeah.
They chill. You know, they struggle just like everybody else. Work hard all day.
I used to hang out with Issachar.
Yeah, it's they cool.
Issachar find it disrespectful. Like if you round them and they say, "Hey man, you want something to eat?" You say, "No, I'm all right." That's disrespectful for them. It is. It's disrespectful to them. They're like, bro, like I'm offering you something to eat, bro. You gonna eat.
Just take the food.
Just take the food. You know what I'm saying? That's like everybody got a Judite grandmother that don't take no for an answer. You want something to eat, baby? No, I'm all right. Come on up in here and get some food. Let me show you. I'm gonna fix you a plate.
Yep, that's it.
It's happening on both sides, bro. Look at the actions of our people. The actions match. We ran up north. Black people helped black people escape. We ran to the south. Black people helped black people escape.
Say that.
And not only that, another thing I noticed too. Watch Issacharite children back when I was growing up. Let them get out of line. That mama could throw that shoe like nobody's business.
Or the chancleta?
What?
Man.
Oh, they don't play with the chancleta.
Oh no. You gonna catch
no, not at all.
it. You getting that butt whooping.
you about to feel every bit of that slipper.
Yep.
Every bit. I done seen Issachar. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just say Northern Kingdom, period. Cause Ephraim.
Yeah. Ephraim
Oh, yeah.
Ephraim, y'all crazy,
Even
bro.
crazy, yeah.
Y'all so-called Puerto Rican, y'all are crazy. Especially the ones that's in New York. Y'all brothers are nuts. And I'm talking about in the black people way. You know what I'm saying? In the black people way. Boy, let a little kid get out of line.
He gonna catch it.
The whole neighborhood still beat your behind in Ephraim neighborhood. Still.
He said the whole neighborhood.
The whole neighborhood. And you know we got a lot of Zebulon down here.
Oh yeah.
Zebulon don't play that.
No.
Zebulon do not play that. Zebulon be pushing them babies in them strollers. Hey, let you know something. A lot of the Northern Kingdom women, a lot of them don't work. They husband work.
Mm-hmm.
And they take care of the house. They are what a lot. I ain't gonna say all of them. I ain't gonna say because there are some that got the Babylonian mind, but a lot of them, they are, without knowing it, being that Proverbs 31 woman. Like they had a video on Facebook. Northern Kingdom lady, she got her husband the rice and the chopped up chicken and the corn and the black beans and
had his clothes out of the
had
dryer.
his clothes out the dryer. Matter of fact, she put
ironed
them
up
in the dryer so they could be warm.
Then when you put them on,
You know what I'm saying? And then gave him some snacks with it. Gave him some Doritos and some Nutty Buddies. You know the Nutty Buddies be off the chain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for laughs, just a fruit roll up.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Gave him like 4 waters, some Gatorade. Dude walked out the house like, you know what I'm
ready
saying?
to go conquer the world.
Like what makes you think that these people are working that hard for? Why?
But
They got something to work hard for. And when they go home, they know they being loved.
Yep.
the Babylonian-minded black woman though said that was slavery.
Slavery.
Yes. That's slavery.
Hell wrong with
That's
you.
oppression.
That's slavery.
I
and
get-
it's on the comments.
I guarantee she asked him for anything.
Yeah.
He coming out of his pocket.
Yep.
Yeah, you want what?
Baby, we need this. Got you. Baby, we need that. Got you.
go.
Can I have? You can have whatever you want.
Go for it.
Oh, all right. So, brothers and sisters, look, I want y'all to remember Northern Kingdom, Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, they are our people.
Yes,
They helped us to escape off of these plantations in the South. There was an underground railroad that ran to the South. I'm going to say it again. There was an underground railroad that ran to the South. We ran south for freedom. South got something to say. And with that, matter of fact, let's just roll into Kingdom music. I mean, the camera's just going to flash back on me anyway. So, look, y'all go to originalroyaltyrecordings.com, all right? Do they have the upcoming albums on there? So, they have Brother Jeremiah. Now, Jeremiah, that album hot. That album is nice. That album is nice. I'm telling y'all got to go get that thing. Hey, I know y'all got the ad for Psalms 149. There you go. There you go. So, Jeremiah's album, Here Is the Patience. Man, that thing hot. You have Arel with the South Memphis sound. You got Moses. Moses' album is like an Israelite classic. You know what I'm saying? He vibing in that thing. Y'all gotta check it out. All right. All of the albums are available on all streaming platforms, but go to Original Royalty Recordings and buy those albums. All right. Also, with Z Diddy on the executive production, Psalms 149, The Judgment Written, is coming soon. It's going to be available April 4th. Brothers and sisters, this album, just like the last Psalms 149 album, is going to be hot fire. More fire. So, y'all stay tuned. Remember, there's only 16 days left to Passover. All right. Shout out to everybody that's doing the Shout Out Tuesdays challenges. Trust me, Israel, we coming up with the music. All right. Because no longer do we have to listen to that wickedness out there. We have righteous music we can listen to, all right? So y'all support and y'all keep it up, all right? Back to Mikha'el.
So, with that being said, that is one way to give alms, by going to Original Royalty and purchasing this music. So if y'all want to continue seeing shows like this, give alms. If y'all have a sanctuary in your city and you want to keep the doors open, you want to keep the lights on, give alms. If y'all want to, when this coronavirus is over, if y'all want to continue seeing our bishops and our leadership go throughout the four corners of the earth, give alms to the Booster Club at iuic.fundraising@israelunite.org. If y'all want to give to this show specifically, y'all can give to iuic.neworleans@israelunite.org via PayPal.
All right, brothers and sisters, that concludes our radio show today, Precept upon Precept. Once again, I'm Officer Matthew. To my left,
Officer Mikha'el.
to my right.
Also, Micah.
And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.